Welcome to VLearn Virtual Learning Network. This is session number 24 of Personnel Administration and the topic is Rights of Public Servants. Topics to be covered are fundamental rights guaranteed to the citizens, classification of fundamental and other rights, personal rights, civil rights, then freedom of speech and expression, political rights, trade unions rights and service rights. Now come to the first topic, that is fundamental rights guaranteed to the citizen. The citizens are guaranteed certain fundamental rights by the constitution, and the rights may be classified as under right of equality, freedom, right against exploitation, freedom of religion, educational and cultural rights, right to constitutional remedies. The right guarantees to the citizen by the constitution may be classified into following: personal rights, civil rights, political rights, trade union rights, and the last one is service rights. Now personal rights: right to life and liberty, equality before law and equal protection of law, that is according to Article 14, right to freedom of religion, that is according to Article 25 to 28, right to private property, right to practice any profession or to carry out any occupation, trade or business. Civil rights: right to private trade and employment. In most cases, it is positively forbidden for an official to have any business dealing in the field with which he or she comes into contact in the ordinary course of his or her duties, and the temptations which might arise could be place an unreasonable strains on one's integrity, particularly if his official duties required him to control certain branches of business. Right to private trade and employment: again, certain restrictions, limitations are imposed by the Civil Service Regulation except with the previous permission of the government. No civil servant can engage in trade or business or in support of the business owned or managed by any members of the family. American government restrict the personal right of civil servants in the sense that they cannot coach anybody either individually or in group in order to prepare him or her for taking the competitive examination for entry into government service. Now, right to contract. Freedom of contract is a fundamental right of the citizen. That is the first most important right. In the view of the integrity and impartiality for the civil service, this right to contract is restricted and they are not allowed to engage in any speculative investment, permit trade by any member of their family, lend money to any persons living in the locality of their authority. Right to vindication of his acts or character. In parliamentary democracy, where the civil servants are expected to be in the background and where they are supposed to be neutral, the ministers hold responsibility for the commissions and omissions of the civil servants. Government employees are also required to so manage their personal affairs as to avoid habitual indebtedness of insolvency, as it affects their own reputations as well as government. Now, subscription and gift. Civil servants are not allowed to ask for or accept any contribution or associating themselves with the raising of any fund in pursuance of any object. Public employees cannot accept any gifts. Even their family members are also not permitted to accept any such gifts. They have to report to the government when they accept any gifts and seek permission of the government to accept them. In Commonwealth countries of Australia, Canada, England and India, the civil servants have to seek prior permission of the competent authorities for publishing a book or article or for speaking to general audience. In the US of America, the Hatch Act of 1939 allowed its federal employees to express their views on political subjects rather than only to express them privately. Criticisms of government policy. According to civil service rules in India, government servants are not permitted to communicate anything to the press, make any public utterance, make any statement of fact and opinion which has the effect on adverse criticisms of any policy of the government or which leads to embarrassing relations between the internal governmental agencies and the governments of foreign states. The purpose of the restriction is to maintain the political neutrality of the civil services and to keep them away from public controversies and enable the civil servants to serve the government of the day with all the loyalty. In Britain, the civil servants have freedom to express their opinion and non-political matters of public importance provided they do not direct their activities towards any party political. In India, the civil servants are prohibited from participating in any political activity and movement. They cannot make any public expression of their views other than those of purely literary, scientific or artistic nature. They are restricted from participating in any way in the editing, managing any publication. Unauthorized communication of official information. In USA, under the HET Act 1939, no employee of the government can use his official authority or influence for the political purpose, and any person violating the provision of this act shall be removed from the position held by him. In India, as per the conduct rules, no government servant shall communicate directly or indirectly any official document or information except in the form prescribed to any government or persons to whom he is not authorized to communicate. Political right to political activity. The right to political activities of the public servants in a democratic government is determined by the constitutional theory of government, and political neutrality of civil servants has been regarded as one of the cardinal conditions for the success of democratic government. Right to political activity. The civil servant has been classified into political free group, politically restricted group, and those who are allowed to participate in national political activity subject to permission. In regard to local political activities, barring those civil servants who are required to obtain permission for participation, all other allowed to take part in those activities. A civil servant in the politically free group who is contesting for parliament is obliged to submit his resignation before nomination. In USA, regulations are laid down on the political activities of public employees, and they prohibited the following activities: serving as a candidate or alternate to a political party convention, soliciting or handling political contributions, engaging in electioneering, being a candidate for elective political office, and the last one is leading or speaking to partians, political meetings or rallies. Now, right to contest elections. France has the most liberal electoral laws. Irrespective of the levels, all French civil servants are allowed to run for any representative office in the country. During their tenure in the representative assembly, they continue to be on the public service rolls and enjoy their seniority and pension rights. England follow different methods as per the recommendations of Masterman Committee. The entire public service has been divided into three categories. Of the total employee in the state service, 62% including industrial staff and most of the non-industrial staff have no restriction on their political activities. Clerical staff, typists and some minor technical staff representing 22% may, with the approval of their departmental authorities, take part in all political activities. In Italy and Spain, the public servant, if elected to parliament, is granted indefinite leave of absence, and if he ceases to be a member of parliament, he is entitled either to return to his post, or if he is too old, he can retire from service. In Denmark, Sweden and Austria, the civil servants can remain in office and also can sit in parliament. Now, right to association. The public servant in Austria and France enjoy the right to association with trade unions, and in Canada, India, Germany, England, certain restrictions are imposed upon public servants' right to associations. In Germany, its civil servants may join or form only those associations whose objectives are in keeping the objectives of existing constitutional order only. Right to strike. Whether the civil servants' right to strike is granted or not, this right is exercised widely in India, France, Canada, Austria, America and in England. In England, the public servants are not denied the right to strike under the law, and in France, they have the right to strike. In Germany, public servants' right to strike does not exist under the law. Now, service rights. Civil service has a special relationship with its government when compared to the relationship between employer and employee in private employment. Civil service enjoys good prospects of public employment like the security of tenure, career, service facilities, superannuity benefits. On the other, it maintains relations with the public in whom the state sovereignty lies. Appointment to the public employer in democratic countries guarantees equal protection of the laws to all citizens seeking public employment. In India, reservations are provided in public employment of SC or STs. State is empowered to require every able-bodied person within its jurisdiction to work for a reasonable period for public purposes such as defense services, home guards, social services, etc. And light tenure public employment is most attractive due to its life tenure and prestige attached to it. The principle of during the pleasure of the government has now been converted in practice into during the good behavior. Civil servants are also entitled to certain privileges, facilities, allowance, advancements and promotions under the rules prescribed from time to time. Now, rights and privileges under service rights. Government cannot make rules and change rules without constitutional authority, and the government is further required to place these rules and regulations on the table of legislature for their approval. Civil servants enjoy privileges and rights guarantees by the constitutional, and the civil servants are not at the mercy of the executive government without changing the existing rules. Procedural safeguards in the event of removal or dismissal. The Constitution and the rules framed under the provision of the Constitution provide certain important procedural safeguards to prevent any injustice. Any punishment can be imposed on the civil servants only according to prescribed procedure, which is laid down in India under classification, control and appeal rules. Now, there are some questions on the basis of this session. First, explain the civil rights of civil servants. Second is analyze the rights to association of Indian civil servants with other countries' civil servants. That's it for this session. Thank you. Happy learning, we learning.